Hello everyone, it's Siamant. Now takes place the championship on the game Castle Story. Unofficial, small, but it seems to be interesting to us, and we decided to participate in it. Who are that we? I and some strong players from our group in Discord. We participate as one team and name ourselves Russian team, because of our Russian and aggressive style of play. In this video, I will tell you the rules of the championship. I will show you my battle. I will tell you how my teammates played. And the most importantly, I will show you the constructions of the participants and their tactics. Let's start with the rules. At the beginning of the game, everyone gathered around the host crystal and capture it, so that he could spectate the game. Yes, the normal spectator mode has not been done yet. After that 10 minutes of peaceful time is counted down. The victory is counted either at destruction of the enemy or in a 1.5 hour by score points. Scoring rules described in separate document, I'll put a link to it. And now I have the first fight, and while my Brictrons run to capture the host crystal, I look around on the map. In this tournament we played only on the map found in the Steam workshop, to show not only the battle but also the creativity of map designers. Maps made by players are very beautiful, but often has serious flaws. The problem with this map is immediately noticeable. It's a huge amount of resources that you can't spend during the battle. Based on this, I'm preparing a plan for the fight. First, I'll try a quick raid on the enemy, hoping to destroy it before he will be able to take advantage of this abundance of resources. If the enemy's defense will be strong, I will attempt to capture and hold as many crystals as possible in the field, possibly trapping the enemy at his base. We are starting construction. I will completely show it to you, because almost all our team is built in a similar way. From the start with chopping the trees and building stockpiles. Any development begins with this. Then I build the furnaces as quickly as possible. How many iron I will have at the end of the peaceful time depends from this. I cancel the chopping task, so that workers will not drag that logs to the stockpiles. When the first boards are ready, I turn off some stumps to slow down the production of wood and to free workers for other cases. Meanwhile, my opponent just started to chop the tree and to build the first stumps, and I already get some stone for the furnaces. It's time to plan workbenches. They must be built next to the furnaces and boards, and racks with weapons will be closer to them as possible. Furnaces are ready, order the smelting, and it is time to gather the iron and brimstone. I do not mine them before in advance to prevent stocking in the stockpiles. I want them to carry all the resources they got right into the furnace. There are enough boards in the stockpile, and I am stopping the stumps. We have enough stones for workbenches and initial fortifications, so removing the stone job. 3 workers we directing to the production of halberdiers. It's time to think about defense. I placed the altar closer to the furnaces and the stockpiles with brimstone. I'll build wards in it. The easiest way to protect the wards is to put them on 2 stones. I've got just 6 stones to put them on the top of each other to get a place for 6 wards. All 3 furnaces are loaded and working. Soon there will be an excess of iron. It's time to put the forge. At this time I build the altar, where I order 6 wards. Fortress built slowly, raise the priority. I'm trying to use released workers to strengthen protection around the wards. It will not save me from crossbowman attack, but slightly delay the infantry. The forge is ready, and I order 2 night kits for assault enemy wards, but I am afraid that I won't manage to finish them. Already it's time to gather in fight. There are less than 2 minutes of peace. I collect the army in advance and send to the enemy before the end of the peace, so I could immediately attack. But a little late. The peaceful time has ended. I sent all my troops to the enemy base. If our armies choose different path, I'll have to destroy his base before he destroys mine. I saw that the enemy didn't build fortifications. Perhaps he put all his strength into swordsmen, and I am late with the beginning of the attack. If the enemy comes the other way to my base with group of swordsmen, he can quickly capture my crystal without fear of the wards. I notice the enemy soldier running to my base. It's just an indication that the rest of his crowd is rushing to me too. He must have been late. So I'll come to his base first, perfectly. His halberdier keeps running to my base, so he doesn't even see me. Or don't turn his army to defend himself and wants to take me first. Well, let's see who's faster. I see 4 workers at his base. saw the rest of his 3 warriors running up to me, and they are all halberdiers, as the enemy has no forge. So I see the icons of the enemy halberdiers. They are already at my base, and they have no chance against my wards. I don't want to give enemy 3 points for the first blood, so I take out the beaten warrior. I won this battle. And now briefly about the results of my teammates. Immediately after mid and warrior went into battle. It developed very actively and even managed to capture 2 crystals for a period of peaceful time. Then he attacked enemy with 7 halberdiers and win after killing 4 of the defenders. Our quick wins greatly dazed other participants of the championship. They didn't like it, and the organizers decided to make a fight between our teammates. Let the rush tactics fight against the same. Choose Dark Leon and Maristerial. We were against this decision and asked not to put us against each other, at least in the first stage, or to conduct the draw. These 2 very strong players, which can show spectacular fighting on more later stages, but it was decided to exclude one of them from tournament in the first combat. As expected, the fight came out tense and dynamic. Mutual attacks, sieges, defense on the verge of destruction, catapult shooting, all that we would like to see in the final, we saw in the first stage of the championship. The result was so controversial that at first victory was awarded to Maristerial for amazing resistance in defense. But then, by our request, by detailing counting points, the organizers awarded a well-deserved victory to Datleon. The next our fighter was in Muravishka. He got a strong opponent who prepared and reflected the first raid. But the Muravishka built a catapult and was ready to shoot the enemy base, but it turned out that he built it on a sloping ground, so that it was impossible to load the barrel. He lost a lot of soldiers trying to attack the enemy. So he was defeated by points. Our teammate Psych was in the next fight. His opponent was ill prepared, and in 10 minutes he didn't manage to make a single warrior kit. Victory of the Psych. Now let's talk about the constructions that we saw in the recent battles. The main defensive fortification used by our teammates was a group of wards surrounded by Merlon blocks, on which it's impossible to climb. Efficient and cheap protection against infantry, but not from the crossbowmen. To get protection against crossbowmen, one of the players fenced off the wards with solid wall, and it was a bad idea. These wards just bypassed. Another player has placed their wards on the columns around the crystal. It looks very nice, and these wards have an excellent shooting area. But the hardness of these columns is not great, and they are easy to destroy. Very interesting was the decision to bury the wards under the ground and close it with the stone. This protected them from the shooters and delayed the warriors a little, while it was cheap and fast in execution. Also an interesting solution was to dig around and enclose crystal with bricks to protect it from rapid destruction. Now the tactical part, well-marked tactic shown by our teammates, is rushing by 7 fighters immediately after the end of the peaceful time. Quick and effective destruction of unprepared players. I didn't see any bright and effective tactics from other players. I hope in the following fights, participants of the championship will please us with new and effective ways of conducting fight. If you like this video and you are interested in the further coverage of the events of this championship, write me about it in the comments. It's important to me to know your opinion. I am not an English-speaking player, and if you generally understand what I am saying, please write me a comment about it. Well, that's all. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.